Hello, everyone. This was unplanned, but you know what? We all saw this movie tonight. Kyle, Nolan, and I. Jamie and Jackson did not, but they will be back for the Sunday show. I mean, the Monday show. Oh, God. Sorry, I messed that up. We just record on Sunday, that's why. But Kyle, Nolan, and I saw this movie tonight, all in separate locations, but we just figured we still got to talk about it. So we're just going to go around and do initial thoughts first. So, Kyle, why don't you do initial thoughts first?
Okay. Well, I have yet to write my review. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I thought it definitely took advantage of its rating.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun to watch. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. I liked how heartwarming the story was. In terms of other comic book movies, they kind of put that to the side and focus on the world-ending kind of climax, and this was just so I don't know, so real, and I really enjoyed that aspect to it. I think a lot of scenes. This is really my main problem with the film. Just dragged a little bit. Whenever there was action, I was on the edge of my seat. It was great, but some of the scenes, I don't know, the pacing was just a little bit off. Although the performances within those scenes were fantastic. Especially from the little girl who's in it. I don't know her name.
I don't know her name.
She was great. Yeah, I don't know her name.
Yeah, I thought she was awesome.
Great. And Patrick Stewart was great. I mean, honestly, all across the board, performances were awesome. That's about it, really. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it a four out of 5. So.
Okay, Nolan, you want to go now?
Yeah, so I already wrote my review. I gave it 4 out of 5. I definitely am with Kyle. All the performances were great. Hugh Jackman, I don't even have to tell you, he's great. You knew he was going to be great, so that's just a given. Patrick Stewart, as I didn't tell you, he was going to be great. He's great. The girl, I was nervous about, but I thought she gave a really cool and compelling performance. She was just a badass. Oh my God. Yeah. He was really cool. I'm with Kyle again on the action scenes. Were phenomenal and brutal and honestly hard to watch at some points, but I really liked that. It was just there were some parts in the movie that again I feel like they really dragged. I don't know if we're getting into spoilers yet, but there's
Not yet.
I don't know. Okay, well there's a scene at the end that I'll get into later, and it's 10 to 15 minutes where it dragged. It just stopped. I felt like the film just stopped, and I don't know if you guys know the scenes that I'm talking about. But it just grinded
like that.
It really bugged me. But I mean, it picks up right after that. It was just that one little scene, and there are a couple of them like that. And there were a few exposition scenes that I didn't really care for.
Yeah, we'll get into that later because I definitely want to talk about that too, especially the exposition scenes.
And real quick, I have to mention this. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was a certain character that I just felt was shoehorned in there. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but comes in the second act, and just I don't know. It was just it kind of felt it detracted from the gritty and real kind of film we were watching, and we'll get into that more in spoilers.
Yeah, I basically wrote down some basic notes as to what I thought about it. My number one is the acting. I thought the acting in this film across the board was incredible, and I think that's what really I kept focusing on was how good Hugh Jackman was, and I knew he was really gonna, do an excellent send off. And the little girl, I don't know her name. However, she doesn't say much throughout the first 2 acts, but her mannerisms and her expressions were fantastic, and
It reminded me of 11 from Stranger Things.
yes, I thought the exact same thing. I wonder if Millie Bobby Brown could have done this, but I don't think she's too cutesy. Rather than this girl had perfect the kind of intensity to her expressions, rather than 11 did. Well, 11 did too, but to this extent, I don't think she would have done it. The action.
Her name, real quick, just to give her credit because she's great, is Daphne Keane.
Daphne Keane, that's right, because this is her first movie, because it said introducing.
Yeah.
The action was brutal, and it was pretty much what I expected, except it, it went a step further. There was a lot of face
I thought
knives.
there was no way in the world that I would underestimate this this rating.
Yeah, it
I
took it.
underestimate.
Yeah, it took it to a whole nother level. It almost made me like wonder, because I believe it or not, there were kids in this theater that came in last second. I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised. One was in a little Spider-Man outfit, and I thought that was funny. But
How
yeah,
old were they?
what? Oh, they were maybe 4 or younger.
Oh
They
God.
were kids, and I mean, they once maybe thought of Wolverine as a hero. Now they think of him as a monster under their bed. Like he is horrifying in this film, as he should be, honestly, because I thought about it, and there was something about this movie that frustrated me, and I really couldn't figure it out until I finally thought it was like, okay, think of X-Men Origins and how dumb and silly that thing is, and how bad it's just a bad film. Yeah, it's garbage. And then the Wolverine is a bit better, but then by the end of the film, it kind of just blew it. What I
So
think they were
forgettable.
just, yeah, they were just holding back because I think with Batman, with Batman and Robin and all the earlier Batman films, I just don't think they're that great. But then when you get the Christopher Nolan films, they're excellent. I think Wolverine and Batman characters like that work better in darker tones. And I think that I just wish that they did this earlier rather than just the last one. And I don't know if that helps.
Yeah.
I think it kind of helps a little bit with like the Big Bang ending, but I don't know. I just wish that they did this earlier because I see that something like Spectre and Skyfall, like there's a major character change in those two films. Like it kind of like here with Logan in The Wolverine and Old Man Logan. In Spectre, James Bond becomes a bit of a jokester. I don't know where that came from, and then in Logan, he just becomes this horrible, brutal, careless, hopeless old man. I mean, there's just a major character change that kind of bothered me, but I just thinking back, I just wish that they did this a little bit earlier. But they were hinting at it a bit, especially in I'm pretty sure it was Apocalypse with they were hinting at this Wolverine becoming a bit more savage, like when he
Yeah.
goes off in the tunnels or wherever. I don't know. I don't really remember that film. I didn't really like it. Now
That's another conversation
this
for
movie,
another
yeah,
day.
this movie did feel a little bit long for me, but I wasn't bored. I think it was just, and I know this is gonna maybe might not be a popular opinion, but I think the action got a little bit exhausting because I mean, by the end of it, I mean, when he like I don't want to like spoil anything, but towards the end where he goes a little crazy, there wasn't like anything new or like, oh man, now he's finally going off. I felt like he was just doing that all throughout. So by the time that actually came around, I was kind of like, oh, he's just doing the same thing he's done throughout the whole film. But I wasn't bored, although I do agree that it kind of felt like it dragged just a bit. But I was still into it the whole time. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't know if you guys want to add on to that before we get into spoilers. But basically, hold on. Sorry, I forgot one up. The story, Kyle, basically what you said, yeah, how heartwarming the story was really took me by surprise, and I really wanted it to be emotional, and I'm glad that it was. And how unpredictable this story was to me also kept me on the edge of my seat. Like it really worked in the movie's favor, and I just was like, man, how the hell are they going to get out of this? What's going to happen next? And that really worked in this movie's favor. Okay, now you guys can go.
Adding to that heartwarming thing, I think one of the best sequences in the whole film, and it's not always a spoiler, but it's just that scene where they stop for the night at that like farmhouse.
Yeah.
That's the whole that was my favorite part of the whole thing, because it really added that emotion. The climax of that is
Great character
because
moments.
of that character.
Yeah.
That is added in there. That was who I was talking about earlier. But
I can't.
I like
I have to have a microphone. Oh,
especially with Professor X. I just love that whole sequence. It's great. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, I also gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know. Basically, when we get into spoilers, I'll talk about what I thought could have made this movie better, or for me. But Nolan, do you want to add anything before we go into spoilers?
I would just say I really did enjoy the film. Action's great, even though, like you said, it did. every time that there was an action scene, though, it did make me smile like a little bit bigger just each time. So I did really enjoy that. But like you said, it does get a little bit tiresome. But that didn't bug me more than some of these other things we're going to get into. But all in all, I did give it a 4 out of 5 as well. I really enjoyed it. I think you should definitely go see it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would absolutely recommend this film. Okay, so now you want to get into spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into spoilers. If you haven't seen Logan, don't watch. Obviously, we're gonna get into it big time and just pretty much ruin everything. I want to talk about um, the surprise at the beginning of the film. I want to talk about Deadpool.
I'm pissed that you texted me that, bro. I'm pissed.
Why?
I checked my phone right before. I had no clue about Deadpool, and I checked my phone right before the movie started, and you were like, "I think there's a Deadpool teaser." And I was like, "Shit."
I said I think.
You did say.
I wish you didn't say that, but
it was still.
I'm sorry, I got too excited. It was great. I mean, it's how teasers should be, where they don't give anything away, doesn't show anything. It's just a thing to get you excited for, and it was hilarious. The phone booth. I mean, how long it took it was so great. Yeah.
Good stuff. It makes me really excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really funny.
Now
too. That's a big thing. If they would have done that at the end, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. But they did it at the very beginning.
You know, I would disagree with that because I feel like it was kind of like a lighthearted before it was like a calm before the storm. I wish they kind of played it at the end to kind of like lighten it up towards the end after the movie was over. But it kind of changed my mindset a little bit at the beginning. I wish they put that at the end.
I'm a
Then
fan
again,
of the beginning. Just because
people would have missed it.
I didn't want it to be like I don't know. It's so different. I don't know. I just prefer the beginning, but that's just me.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want to talk about the scene that bothered me the most. The cell phone scene. That was so dumb.
That's the exposition
Yeah.
scene I was talking about. I was like,
I don't care for that.
I
had time to edit that. Or
yes. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're gonna tell me she's sitting there filming this, and none of them are like, "What the hell are you doing, filming all of this?" And then she edited it. Oh God, that was bad.
She has her nice voiceover as her B-roll goes onto the screen.
Yeah.
That was lazy.
Yeah, that was totally lazy. I wish they kind of left that up into the air until maybe they reached the camp at the end where he kind of explains like, yeah, this is what we went through and this is why we're running away. I feel like that could have helped and would have been a bit better. And if they were going to do an exposition scene, don't do it through a cell phone. Do it through the kids at least. One other thing I didn't really care for, I wish he didn't fight just another Wolverine. I wish it was just a different. I wish it was a different character. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I didn't like that either. I wish it was just like a different person, almost like I don't know, it just reminded me of X2 with the girl. Just make it a different person. Don't make it another Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, there were like 3 Wolverines. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the only reason they did that was when Professor X was killed. Like you're like, why did Logan kill him? And
yeah.
Just it looked different. It was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was like a dream sequence at first. That just kind of threw me off.
I was like, no, don't do that.
Like that was kind of, I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like you talked about. I read your review on Letterboxd, Max, and you talked about how like X-Men Origins and what's the other one you mentioned? X-Men was just kind of silly.
Yeah.
Or Wolverine, yeah. And that was the one part in that film where it kind of reminded me of like the old X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Had like another Hugh Jackman fighting Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? This is the last performance he's gonna give. May as well get every ounce we can out of him. Like I don't know.
Oh, man, that ending. I'm not gonna lie. I teared up at the end of this film. I think that was handled very well.
People
ending was great
in my theater, like bawling their eyes out.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sniffles going on in my theater.
I really liked how they had the cross and the thing.
That was great. That was great. I didn't
so clever.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, I didn't get that at first, and I was like, oh, okay, very clever, very very smart, James Mangold, very smart.
That was a good ending shot.
Yes, that was a perfect ending shot.
And I'm glad it didn't really like have 5 minutes after that or like explaining where the kids went or anything. It just ended like that. I think that was a great ending.
Yeah.
Speaking of the kids, they were awesome.
They were awesome. They were. They were brutal.
When the one chick freezes the guy's hand,
That was
just
cool.
cracks it off.
Yeah, they are.
And like you've seen that in PG-13 movies before, just shards of ice everywhere. No blood.
I liked that though, because it goes to show how they were raised and how they've been growing up, like in this absolutely brutal, uncontrolled, kind of uh, uh, living area. I don't know what the word is. I'm drawing a blank here, but I think that was good to show how brutal they were raised.
Yeah. And that little black kid running, that was great.
I was wondering what his power was. When he was running, I was like,
yeah, it was.
For some reason, I thought he was going to be another Cyclops for some reason, and I would have lost my shit if that were to happen. Because he was looking at that guy's ass, and I thought he was going to, like, laser beam it. I don't know. Yeah. But that's all I got to say about Logan.
I want to talk about, because I don't know what your guys' thoughts on it were, but right before, so I definitely enjoyed the kids, like, during the actual, like, end fighting scene. But the scene where Logan, from the minute that he passes out in the car, like the second time maybe, and he gets out of the car and passes out, and then they pull him up the mountain, from there until where he tells the girl, like, people that I care about, like, shit always happens to them, and then she's like, okay, well, nothing happened to me. That in-between time, I did not care for it.
Really? I liked that a lot.
I don't even remember that. It was just so... I agree with you completely, Nolan.
I thought it dragged it down so much, and he
Really?
just like passed out 4 times, and I thought it dragged it down a lot. But like I said, it picks right back up. But it was that scene right when he gets pulled up. From the minute he gets pulled up, in the next like 10 to 15 minutes, it really bugged me.
I don't know. To me, it was similar to like the dinner sequence, where it's like it's not like anything special. It's just a slow little moment to build up some characters, and that's how I kind of took it as. I liked it.
I feel like that scene could have worked if it was like at the beginning of a film. I know that those characters are just getting introduced and everything, but we were already building up so much energy towards this final climax, and it slowed down like right before. I don't know. It's just
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. They built it up so much, and then there's this little like 10, 15 minutes where I was really excited to see the end, and then I was just like, oh really? They're doing this now with the last 30 minutes of the movie? They're gonna do this?
They could have trimmed some of it.
I think most people will agree that probably the pacing was probably the biggest issue with this film.
Yeah, it was on and off a lot.
Yeah. But man, the action, I loved it.
Thinking back though, what did you guys? Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was a lot of fun. Thinking back though, what did you think of Professor X's like when he'd have seizures and everybody would just like? What'd you think of that?
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird, and it wasn't really explained that much, or like it has to be.
They kind of glossed over it.
Okay.
There's one scene where the bad guy's like, he has the most powerful brain ever, and it's deteriorating, which makes it dangerous. I was like, I guess. So when he has seizures, everybody freezes.
Yeah. Why would he not take those pills though? I know like he doesn't want to go crazy, but I feel like someone like Professor X would realize like, hey, I'm a danger, and I should probably take these pills.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that whole like thing was just kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say those are my only thoughts. I don't know if you guys have to add anything, or those are all my notes that I wrote down.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I've already been through everything I said in my reviews. So.
All right. If you want to check out our written reviews, Kyle, are you doing one? I don't know if you've done one yet.
Yeah, I'm about to write one on.
Okay, cool. My Letterboxd is Max Van Dongen. I'll just put all of our links to our Letterboxd in the description, or you can just say
what Letterboxd is.
It's
like a social media app for film buffs.
It's great.
This app is so freaking awesome.
I love it.
I trust it more than IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or anything. Like, I don't care what the Rotten Tomatoes score is or what IMDb has to say. Like, look at the Letterboxd score, man, because these people know we know what we're talking about.
Oh, I'm on it all the time.
If you're worried that we're sponsored and we're just saying that to say it, we're not. We actually
Letterboxd is awesome.
Letterboxd, give us money. I really do enjoy it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. I'm on it all the time. I definitely
Yeah.
recommend getting it. It's very addicting. But yeah, I think that's all we have. I'll put all the Letterboxd links in the description. This movie, I absolutely recommend it. I think we could all agree that we'd recommend this film.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's all we have to say about Logan. So definitely check it out. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe, that'd be nice. Thank you for watching.